Guys, welcome back to Camille's Corner. So, y'all, Kenneth Petty has been arrested according to TMZ, and I had to come on here and talk about this, okay? But before I get into it, Barbs, y'all can just excuse yourselves from my channel right now, okay? Because I don't have anything nice to say, and I don't want y'all to get your feelings hurt. So just save yourselves the trouble and leave now. Y'all see how nice I am, right? I'm giving y'all the opportunity to click off before I get y'all mad. So don't watch the entire video and then come afterwards and be like, Camille, you're a hater. Because I warned y'all beforehand and I gave y'all the opportunity to leave. Get out my bed! Anywho, so y'all know Kenneth and Nikki, they're fresh from a visit to Trinidad where a whole lot of foolishness happened. And now I'm convinced that Trinidadians collectively got together and they did some voodoo on this man, okay? It's like we collectively called upon the powers of our African ancestors to punish Kenneth Petty for how he treated Iowa George on that music truck. Y'all, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. It's like, don't ever piss off a Trinidadian because bad luck will follow you for the rest of your life. And it's like Trinidad sent a ton of bad energy Kenneth Petty's way. We're like, until you do right by Iowa George, anything you even think about is going to fail. Y'all, people are convinced that bad juju followed Kenneth from Trinidad. Y'all check out some of these comments. Okay, let me stop before somebody takes this way too seriously and they say I do voodoo and shit because you know how these barbs are, okay? But anyway, TMZ is reporting that Kenneth was arrested for failing to register as a sex offender. And I mean, we all know Kenneth served 4 years in prison for attempted rape of a 16-year-old girl back when he was also 16, I think. And as a result of that, he has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. So according to TMZ, he was registered in New York, but he moved to California in 2019 and he didn't register in California like he's supposed to. So TMZ is saying that he was arrested back in November and he was released on a $20,000 bond back then. But since then, he has still not registered in California, and so he was arrested again today. And it seems really serious this time because he posted a $100,000 bond and he had to surrender his passport. And he now has a curfew and he has to wear an ankle monitor. And TMZ is also reporting that he's facing up to 10 years in prison. And I'm like, damn, at this rate, this dude is going to hold the world record for the most mugshots ever. But y'all, I find it really interesting that this happened right after they got back from Trinidad, where there was a whole controversy over them going to a children's home. Like I told y'all before, a lot of people were upset that Nikki went to the home saying that she wanted to speak to the girls and inspire them and stuff, but she went with a television crew to film her documentary. But another controversy also happened that people haven't really been talking about, which is the Children's Authority in Trinidad is actually investigating how Kenneth was allowed to go to the home and be around children when he is a registered sex offender, and he's not supposed to be around children. Like, I don't know if Nikki and Kenneth, they just didn't care and they figured nobody would notice, or if they figured US laws don't apply in other countries. I'm confused about that as well. Like, if a person is a registered sex offender in the US, but they move to another country, how does that work out with that country's laws? That's something I'm going to have to look into, but it did raise some eyebrows here, and this is what the Children's Authority said. So the Children's Authority chairman, his name is Hanif Benjamin, and this article states, Benjamin noted that Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, accompanied her on the visit to St. Jude's. In 1994, Petty was arrested in the United States for sexual assault and was charged in 1995 with the attempted rape of a 16-year-old girl. He is a registered Level 2 sex offender on the New York State Sex Offender Registry. questions have been raised as to whether Petty should be allowed to be around minors in Trinidad. Benjamin said the authority is investigating the matter to determine if any laws were broken. He said, right now we have our legal department examining the laws and to see where we would have fallen short, if we fell short at all, so that we could ensure that something like this doesn't happen again. So this is an active investigation by the Children's Authority in Trinidad because they're trying to determine if and how Kenneth Petty was allowed to be at a children's home in Trinidad, given that he is a registered sex offender in the US. So that's one thing that I think didn't get a lot of coverage, and it seems like I'm the only person talking about it. I haven't seen that on any of these other blogs, and it's like if I don't talk about it, nobody else will. But I think they just didn't care. I mean, if he's been in California for 8 months and he still hasn't registered, even after he was arrested back in November for the exact same thing, it's like he just doesn't care, and he's blatantly disrespecting US law. So if he could do that, then clearly they didn't care about Trinidad law either. And that's why Nikki was able to take a camera crew into that children's home, even though there are laws against that in Trinidad. It's because they simply don't care, and they think their celebrity status makes them able to do whatever the hell they want. And well, the home just allowed them to do it. But y'all, I personally believe him being at a children's home in Trinidad, that has something to do with him being arrested now. Because could you imagine the feds in the US, they already have him on their radar for not registering, and then they see him in a children's home in Trinidad? They must have been like, dude, are you trying to piss us off? So that was a really dumb move. Now, do I want Kenneth Petty to go to jail? Y'all, I don't, okay? I think he served his time for his crimes, and just the stigma of that, that's gonna follow him for the rest of his life. So that's punishment enough. So I don't want to see him go back to jail for another 10 years. But you have to obey the laws. You can't just flout the rules and refuse to register and then have the feds see you at a children's home in another country when you know damn well you're not supposed to be around children. But y'all, I don't think he will go to jail, okay? Because Nikki's got money and she's got lawyers and they will get him out of this. But I do think this is a lesson to Nikki to just humble herself, okay? Because she's always throwing shade at other people's relationships. And I mean, you love who you love. And she sees something in Kenneth that we don't. And that's her business. But she shouldn't be shading anybody else's relationship when hers isn't exactly a fairy tale. Now that's all I have to say on that, but since we're on the topic, let me bring up something that I also wanted to address, okay? Because I saw a lot of Bobs in my comments on that last video, and they were cussing me out, y'all. They were telling me to go kill myself and all kinds of stuff because they didn't like what I said. Because I was questioning whether Nikki donating to the children's home was genuine, or did she just do that for PR? And they were like, Camille, you're a hater, you're jealous, she always donates, she loves children. And y'all, I just want to point out that this is not the first time that Nikki has been caught using children for PR. So back in 2014, Nikki actually wanted to go back to her old high school to talk to students there. And she told the school that she just wanted to inspire them and talk to them about how she achieved success and stuff like that. And the school said no. So Nikki went to Twitter and she started bashing the school, and she was saying they made her feel like she's not good enough to talk to the students there. But she never once said why the school turned her down. So after getting bashed online, the school actually came out and said the reason why they said no was because she wanted to come with a whole television crew to film the visit for her MTV documentary that she was doing at the time. So this is the statement that the school put out at that time. They said, "It has been brought to our attention that Nicki Minaj is attempting to generate publicity for herself by posting negative information about our principal, Dr. blah, blah, blah." The fact is that Miss Minaj was told by the New York City Department of Education that she would not be allowed to enter the school with a television crew. The DOE has policies in place to protect the privacy and security of all its students. I'm sure we all appreciate the strict enforcement of these policies with regard to the safety of our children. So the school said they have strict protocols against filming students without their parents' consent. But they told Nikki she could still come and speak to the students, but without the cameras. Now, if Nikki truly cared about inspiring students like she claimed, she would have gone without the cameras, right? But you know what she did, y'all? She decided not to go at all. And then she went to Twitter to lie and say that the school said no because she wasn't good enough. So, y'all, did she really care about inspiring anyone? I mean, let's face it, okay? Nikki is a huge star, so of course her old high school would have loved to have her come back and talk to students there. But what they weren't okay with was the fact that she wanted to film it. So, because they told her that she couldn't come with cameras, she decided that she wasn't going to go at all. And it's the same thing that she did in Trinidad. Y'all, I'm sorry, okay, but I feel how I feel, and I feel like Nikki only went to that children's home because she wanted to film it and portray herself as some sort of Mother Teresa of Trinidad. And I'm wondering now, if the home had told her that no cameras are allowed, if she would have bothered to go at all, or if she would have not gone like she did with her old high school. And when I said in my last video that she should not have gone to that home with cameras, the Bobs came out to drag me. Y'all, I got dragged so bad, I cried. Well, not really, okay? I actually laughed, but I mean, it boggles my mind that people don't see anything wrong with filming children in a home. But after I said that, the Children's Authority actually came out and said the same thing, so I felt really validated. The Children's Authority said that things should have been put in place and better organized to protect those children's identities, and then the Office of the Prime Minister actually came out and spoke against it too. But when I said Nikki should not have gone there with cameras, the Bobs were like, "You're a hater!" Y'all, I swear. Yes, I'm a hater, okay? I'm a hater of exploiting children. I'm a hater of exploiting my country for a documentary. I'm a hater of sex offenders being allowed into children's homes. I'm a hater of filming vulnerable kids for clout. I'm a hater of all of that, so call me a hater if you all want. I just think it's funny that her old high school said the exact same things about respecting the privacy of children, and that's just in a school, and they wouldn't let her go in with cameras. But the privacy of children in a home doesn't matter in Trinidad. Y'all, sometimes my country really disappoints me, okay? And this is one of those times. And this is not just a Nikki issue. This is something that the home has to explain why they allowed it. This is something that the police commissioner has to explain because he was right there up front and center. So a lot of people have some explaining to do. And like I said, the Children's Authority said they're investigating. So I will keep you all posted on what comes out of that. But I'm damn sure that Nikki's old high school would not have allowed Kenneth on their premises either. But it's like in Trinidad, any damn thing goes. Anyway, y'all, that's all I have to say on this whole situation. So let me know what y'all think. And do you think Kenneth being arrested has anything to do with him being at a children's home in Trinidad? Let me know in the comments. Bye, guys, and thanks for watching.